The Joe Rogan Experience.
I've always felt like that's one of the things that New York has a large advantage over Los Angeles is interaction. People are constantly on the subway and walking on the streets with everybody of all different classes, all different backgrounds, and I think that's really good.
I think it's good too.
Yeah.
It's the contact hypothesis, right?
Yes.
Like I feel like if kids grew up with, like if you had a black friend growing up, like since you were 3 or 4, you would never think to be racist. Like it's just one of those things. It's like early contact with different people, and it's the same with. That's what I feel about ideas too. Early contact with different ideas really helps, and that's I don't know. I've kind of devoted my life to that cause almost. It's just,
do you know who Daryl Davis is?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, okay.
I wrote about him one of my
did you?
articles. Yeah, I was at that conference that he was speaking at. We were speaking at the same conference, and that's the conference that Daryl Davis was called neo-Nazi. Did he talk about that on your show?
That someone called him a neo-Nazi?
Yeah.
How?
Because
Let me explain to people who he is if you didn't listen to the podcast that I did with him. Daryl Davis is a musician, and he was doing some shows at this country western bar and met some people from the Klan. And through just communicating with them and being friendly with them over a period of many months, he got them to quit. They quit the Klan on their own. He didn't even request it. And then over the course of several years, he's gotten more than 200 people to leave the Klan, leave neo-Nazi organizations, and they give him their robes and their flags, and he brought them all in here. And
oh my God.
He's an inspirational human being.
Very much so.
But he essentially was reinforcing what you were saying, that these people were never around anyone. Like one of the guys that he met initially was saying, I've never had a drink with a black man before. And he's like, how's that possible? And he's like, I'm in the Klan. And he's like, I've never had a drink with a black man. And so he's like, this is the first time I'm ever having a drink with a black man. And we're like making this big deal out of it. And then eventually Daryl was going to his house and eating dinner with him and hanging out with him. And then the guy's like, I can't do this anymore. Like, why am I in the Klan? And he quit.
Wow.
And he quit just from Daryl being this really friendly, articulate, brilliant guy who clearly didn't fit their narrative of what they thought their racist depiction of what a black man is.
Right. So the incident that happened was this group called Mythicists Milwaukee had organized a conference. It was one
What
of
is
those
it called, Milwaukee? What?
Mythicists.
Mythicists?
Yeah, that was the name of the group. But they were kind of like a secular. So the Mythicists believed that Jesus Christ was he didn't really exist as a historical figure. That's what a mythicist is. But in any case, it's a secular group that put on a conference, and they've been doing that for years. And they had alongside, people like Sargon of Akkad, Count Dankula, the guy who taught his pug to do the
Hitler
salute.
thing.
Yeah. So these people all came for a conference, and so was Daryl Davis, and it was a bunch of people, but on the political spectrum, basically. And it was about promoting discourse, civil dialogue, that kind of thing. Andy Ngo was there as well. So basically, because, when the conference was happening and Antifa kind of found out about it, they started protesting the conference. They called the venue to basically, get it canceled. They said it was a neo-Nazi rally, Klan rally. Ironically, the greatest irony was that Daryl Davis was there, and he got tainted as well. So I started calling this the political one-drop rule, where it's like kind of what happened to you. If you are associating or talking to somebody or just a whole range of people, like normal distribution of people, you will be tainted by the most right-wing person that you're in orbit with. That's just how it goes. And that's what happened to Daryl. So when we had the after party to the conference, Antifa was gathered outside the bar. The Pittman, New Jersey people, because Tim Pool was there too, the Pittman, New Jersey people, police had to station themselves outside of the bar. And, they were kind of protecting this event. It's ridiculous because, yes, you might find Sargon's politics objectionable, but why is everybody who's associated, with the conference also lumped in with this? And why is the response that this needs police protection? We're just talking about it. It doesn't make any sense.
No, this desire to shut down speech is very dangerous, and it's very stupid, and it's childish, and it's this thing that it just gets reinforced in that culture. The culture of either Antifa or people that support Antifa. They don't understand the consequences of shutting down speech. You think that you're just going to shut down speech and deplatform people that have marginally offensive views. And the problem with that is, first of all, you close the door for them to be influenced in a positive way, or for other people to learn from them being influenced in a positive way.
Right.
And second of all, the way to shut down ideas is not stop the person from talking. It's to combat those ideas with better ideas. And then everyone around them gets to see the discourse. When you have these debates online and people discuss these things online, it benefits millions of people.
Yeah.
When you shut that down, it benefits nobody but your cause, and your cause is probably incorrect. Like your ideas are probably wrong. In the case of Daryl Davis, you're definitely wrong. He's not a Nazi. So for you shutting that down and saying these people are Nazis, well, you're wrong, and you're censoring people that are trying to get to the bottom of things. And getting to the bottom of things means discussing things and trying to figure out tenable solutions or comfortable middle ground. That takes forever. This is not like, you have Christina Hoff Sommers, and she has this discussion, and they pull fire alarms and yell that she's a Nazi. Like, she's a feminist. Like, you guys are crazy. Like, this, everyone has to comply with woke ideology 100% with no deviance whatsoever, and everyone has to take an impossible to pass purity test. This is a dumb way to communicate.
But you ever notice something too? It's always that why is the concern always that if we have this battle of ideas, that the person would shift to the right?
Yes.
Why are you not concerned about the other way, right? It's kind of like reminds me of like, because I grew up pretty evangelical. My mom was very religious. It was that she tried to it's that, okay, if you're a good Christian, you might get corrupted by bad ideas, so we have to ban, I don't know, like Harry Potter books are banned in my household. It's like we had to ban all these because it encouraged witchcraft. So I wasn't allowed to celebrate Halloween.
Encourage witchcraft? Wow, that's heavy.
Yeah, it's pagan stuff. It's
that's
satanic. But that's what I mean. It's like, this is satanic, this is evil, and it has taken on this religious dimension, this liturgical dimension, because they're always so concerned that the corruption is just going, like they're going to drift to the right.
Of course.
They're never concerned that somebody might be convinced by their arguments and go to the left. Why? I don't get that.
Well, the drifting to the left, first of all, they think would be a good thing. The problem is...
But why don't they think it would happen?
Oh, well, they don't worry about it. They're not worried that someone would drift to the left. You mean by looking at someone's offensive views and that they would be more likely to drift to the left? Is that what you mean?
That, like, okay, it's like, let's say we expose everybody to all ideas.
Right.
Why are we so concerned that the individual, that they're, the target, I guess, would be shifted right and not shifted left?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
If there's an equal...
I think they have an infantile perspective on ideas, and they're worried about people being indoctrinated. They're worried about, but they're not worried about. Look, if you have someone talking and this person is preaching some ridiculous thing, and someone starts becoming indoctrinated and gravitates towards that, the real problem is that these people that are being indoctrinated are gullible and they're foolish. That's the real problem. And in your eyes, they're going in the incorrect way.
So it's infantilizing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually patronizing.
It is patronizing. Yeah. Yes.
I think that's what I couldn't stand
Those people are dumber than you. You're smarter. You know better. You need to stop these people from being tricked into this right-wing ideology.